His Majesty the King's Representative for Humanitarian Affairs and Youth Affairs, Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, in the presence of the First Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, President of the General Sports Authority and President of the Bahrain Olympics Committee, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, met with the International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach in Switzerland. His Highness emphasized that Bahrain will continue to flourish in the Olympic and sports movement in order to achieve the aspirations of His Majesty the King, who is the biggest supporter of Bahraini sports. He added that the support of the government, headed by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Prime Minister, has prioritized the sports sector in order to continue highlighting Bahraini sports in international forums. During this meeting, Bach praised Bahrain's progress in sports, highlighting its development and international achievements, particularly the colorful medals won at the recent Olympic Games in France. He wished Bahrain continued progress and prosperity in the Olympics movement. He also congratulated Bahrain for ranking fifth in the overall standings relative to population, emphasizing that this success reflects the ongoing advancement in Bahrain sports and serves a motivation for future accomplishments. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Prime Minister deputized the Deputy Prime Minister Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa to attend the reception ceremony organized by Oman's embassy to Bahrain on the occasion of its 54th National Day. Upon his arrival at the ceremony site, accompanied by ministers, the Deputy Prime Minister was received by Oman's ambassador to Bahrain, Faisal bin Harib bin Hamad Al Busaidi, where he conveyed the congratulations of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Prime Minister to His Majesty the Sultan of Oman, His Highness the Deputy Prime Minister for Cabinet Affairs of Oman, and the Omani people. The Deputy Prime Minister emphasized that the milestones in the history of the solid fraternal relations between both countries are a testament to the solid foundations on which these relations were built since ancient times and the extent of the deep ties and common bonds enjoyed by the two countries, which were established by their ancestors and thanks to the visions of His Majesty the King and His Majesty the Sultan of Oman. He said that Bahrain shares the Sultanate's joy on its National Day in a fraternal message of unity, understanding and closeness, as the deep-rooted relations are based on strong bases of harmony and mutual respect that represent a solid social and cultural fabric in many occasions. He praised the positive results achieved by the Joint Ministerial Committee between Bahrain and Oman, which was formed thanks to the high directives of both leaders, believing in the importance of continuing the process of cooperation and integration, especially in the economic, investment, trade and social fields. The Deputy Prime Minister expressed Bahrain's constant aspiration to move forward towards implementing more development initiatives and broader horizon in order to serve common interests and achieve development for two countries and brotherly peoples. Oman's ambassador to Bahrain thanked His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Prime Minister for his keenness and interest in advancing the strong relations between the two brotherly countries in various fields. He also expressed his appreciation to the Deputy Prime Minister for attending this ceremony, noting that the close relations between the two brotherly countries are witnessing progress at all levels. Under the patronage of Her Royal Highness, the wife of His Majesty the King, President of the Supreme Council for Women, Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa, the Chairman of the Supreme Council of Health, Chairman of the Bahrain Diabetes Association, Lieutenant General Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, inaugurated the Bahrain Diabetes and Obesity Conference in the presence of the Secretary General of the SCW, Lul Al Awadi, and the Minister of Health, Dr. Jalila Hassan. Dr. Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdullah delivered a speech in which he thanked Her Royal Highness for her generous patronage of this conference and her keenness to continue upgrading the health sector in the kingdom. He noted the SCW's role in creating an environment that encourages women to realize their full potential, develop their skills and abilities, and participate in all fields, including the health and medical ones. He said that the important and vital role of women in the health sector has become an honorable civilizational model and an established title for giving and achieving, noting that women have become a large percentage of the workforce in the sector and play their national roles with efficiency and competence, which reflected positively on the indicators of the health sector in terms of achieving gender balance, equal opportunities, and integrating the needs of Bahraini women. A special movie on women and diabetes was also screened, during which Bahrain's efforts in supporting women's health were reviewed, and the book Women's Health and Diabetes was launched, which aims to spread the culture of women's health and diabetes during pregnancy. The association then presented a commemorative gift to Her Royal Highness, which was received by the SCW Secretary General. The conference also honored the supporters and partners, and the conference witnessed theoretical lectures in addition to workshops.
Bahrain Diabetes and Obesity Conference is a platform to discuss the latest updates in the management of diabetes and obesity in the Kingdom of Bahrain. We are excited about this event. We have organized several lectures, workshops, and activities for healthcare professionals and for the public, and for school staff to deal with children with type 1 diabetes, and accepted several research posters to participate in this event. And we hope that it will be an annual scientific function.
My participation will be about the use of technology and the care of diabetic patients. And during my presentation, I'll talk about the use of glucose sensors, about the use of insulin, and how their use has improved the blood glucose for those patients and ultimately prevented the long-term complications.
The Minister of Interior, General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, headed Bahrain's delegation at the GCC Interior Ministers meeting held in Qatar. The minister thanked Qatar's Interior Minister, Chairman of the meeting, Sheikh Khalifa bin Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, and all concerned for the warm reception and hospitality. He welcomed the First Deputy Prime Minister, Defense Minister, and Interior Minister of Kuwait, Sheikh Fahad Al Yusuf Saud Al Sabah, and congratulated the Interior Minister of Oman, Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi, on the occasion of Omani National Day, wishing the country continued progress and prosperity. The Interior Minister also thanked GCC Secretary General Jassim Al Badawi for the Secretariat's constant interest in organizing the preliminary meetings throughout the year with all professionalism in order to make this meeting a success. He said that a year since the serious escalation in the Middle East and the difficult situations and times, there are many lessons and conclusions whose impact is reflected on internal security, pointing out that one of the main lessons is the importance of reviewing the challenges and expected actions and taking the necessary measures to avoid potential impacts, wishing the meeting success. The meeting discussed security issues that contribute to enhancing the process of joint Gulf security cooperation. They were briefed on the recommendations of the specialized security committees and the most important initiatives and development projects, including the Unified Gulf Anti-Drug Strategy, the Gulf Child Protection Strategy, the Gulf Strategy to combat money laundering crimes, the project to link traffic regulations and violations, the Gulf Visa Platform project, and the activation of the Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation between the General Secretariat of the Council and the UN Office on Drugs and Crimes in the field of raising capabilities and developing competencies. The Minister of Interior, General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, met with Kuwait's first Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Defense and Minister of Interior, Sheikh Fahad Al Yusuf Saud Al Sabah, on the sidelines of the meeting of GCC Ministers of Interior. The minister praised the distinguished historical and fraternal relations between the two countries and the mutual keenness to enhance the means of security cooperation in various fields. The meeting also discussed security issues and topics and enhanced joint efforts to exchange expertise to further develop security cooperation and coordination and enhance regional security and stability. The minister was accompanied by Bahrain's ambassador to Qatar, the Undersecretary of the Ministry of Interior, and ministry officials. The Ministry of Social Development works to protect and safeguard the rights of children through the Child Protection Centre established in 2007 to protect children up to the age of 18 in case they are exposed to danger or mistreatment. This is done within an integrated process of social, psychological, legal, school and health assessment, in addition to periodic follow-up of cases. We have more in this report.
An integrated national strategy launched by the Kingdom of Bahrain for children for the years 2023 to 2027, which includes a number of essential items to protect and safeguard the rights of children. This strategy implements the royal directives of His Majesty the King, calling to support and care for Bahraini citizens at all levels and adopting programs and initiatives aimed at providing care for all young people. Various projects in the Kingdom of Bahrain are aimed directly at children to provide protection, care and development. The Kingdom has taken pioneering steps in the field of child protection through a number of initiatives and measures. Bahrain has spared no efforts in protecting children in various aspects. It issued legislation to ensure the rights of children are guaranteed by the Constitution, such as the right to education, health, recreation and family custody, with clear efforts by the Ministry of Social Development, where the law regulates the competencies of the Child Protection Centre of the Ministry of Social Development by providing support and protection in all circumstances. The Kingdom of Bahrain, represented by the Ministry of Social Development, has launched more initiatives in cooperation with civil societies, all of which are in the interest of children and young people.
And on this, we're now joined over the phone by the Assistant Undersecretary of Community Development at the Ministry of Social Development, Enas Al-Majid. Hello and welcome, Ms. Al-Majid. Could you please elaborate on Bahrain's efforts in promoting and also protecting children's rights, as well as ensuring their health, their education and social well-being?
Yes, good evening. It's my pleasure on this occasion to highlight what the Kingdom of Bahrain has achieved under the comprehensive vision of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, with the support and guidance of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Crown Prince and the Prime Minister. Well, significant milestone enhancing children's rights and welfare across legal and social, educational and the cultural dimensions have been achieved in community partnership with various official sectors, civil sectors and the private institutions. Taking part in this international occasion is an obligation and a duty to highlight Bahrain's commitment towards adopting best practices in protecting children's rights and promoting their best interests. Well, a key example of this is the restorative justice law for children and their protection from maltreatment, which marks a significant advancement in the reform system for children. Additionally, the efforts of the National Committee for Childhood play a vital role in implementing the National Strategy for Children for the years 2023 to 2027, providing a unified framework for all relevant stakeholders to enhance the status of children and safeguard their health, education, and social rights. Well, on the international and global level, Bahrain has achieved notable indicators in cooperative agreements and memorandums of understanding with international organizations, particularly the UNICEF. This includes supporting childhood projects implemented by civil society organizations based on both national and international principles, aligned with the Constitution of the Kingdom of Bahrain. Of course, we are committed to further achievements in the field of child protection and welfare in line with our core values and principles. Yeah, thank you.
Assistant Under Secretary of Community Development at the Ministry of Social Development, Inas Al-Majid, thank you very much for joining us. During the general debate of the fifth session of the Conference of the Establishment of the Middle East Zone Free of Nuclear Weapons and Other Weapons of Mass Destruction, Bahrain's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador Jum'a Ruwai'i, reaffirmed Bahrain's commitment to establishing a zone free from nuclear and other weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East. He emphasized the importance of cooperation among member states in the peaceful use of nuclear energy to achieve sustainable development goals, enhance the exchange of nuclear knowledge and technologies between industrialized and developing countries, expand peaceful nuclear applications, and strengthen nuclear security and safety systems. He also noted the state's commitment to the principle of transparency, as it is crucial in developing peaceful nuclear energy programs, particularly when such development is based on logical needs. He also stressed the importance of cooperation with the IAEA regarding any nuclear activities or nuclear facilities in the region in order to ensure a Middle East free of weapons of mass destruction. Now, Bahrain achieved a quantum leap in the Global Digital Competitiveness Ranking 2024, issued by the Center for Global Competitiveness, moving up 8 places to become among the top 30 economies in the world. We have more in this report.
The Kingdom of Bahrain made significant progress in the field of digital transformation by following steady steps to reach a global position and achieve successes and achievements in this field, making Bahrain a globally favored destination for all those looking for an integrated and smart environment. Bahrain strives to achieve its vision of becoming a country centered on providing smart and integrated government services, providing services that employ artificial intelligence to improve the lives of members of its society and meet the needs and expectations of individuals and organizations efficiently and effectively, while ensuring the security and privacy of their data. Bahrain continues its successful steps towards enhancing its digital competitiveness as the kingdom's performance improved by 8 places to become among the top 30 economies globally, according to the Digital Competitiveness Report 2024 issued by the Center for Global Competitiveness and International Institute for Management Development, where Bahrain ranked in the top 10 in 14 indicators, including online retail sales and communications technology, cybersecurity, availability of digital technological skills, and the development and application of new technologies. Bahrain's continued progress in the global competitiveness rankings reflects the successful policies and concerted efforts of Team Bahrain across various sectors, driven by a set of complementary factors that converge in a common endeavor to achieve sustainable economic prosperity and build high competitiveness at the regional and international levels.
The National Bureau for Revenue conducted 168 inspection visits in local markets across Bahrain's governorates during October 24 to ensure compliance with VAT and excise tax regulations, including the digital stamp system. The NBR detected 40 violations requiring administrative fines, such as failure to comply with VAT invoice procedures, not displaying VAT-inclusive prices, and not visibly displaying VAT certificates. Additionally, the agency identified suspected cases of excise tax evasion, which could lead to legal action with penalties of up to 1 year in prison and fines double the evaded tax amount.